Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me now? Cool, cool. How does everything sound? I'm on I'm using a set of earphones that have a microphone on it, so I don't know if that um, sounds okay. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, okay. I didn't. Yeah, I mean, because I figured putting in some headphones or something that might um, that, that might help with that. Maybe I don't know. Wow. Mm. I am curious about how you do your setup because I would love to do some like live video broadcasts, like for my podcast, but I haven't figured out really how to do all that. So yeah, no, I'd love to sit down with you one of these days and kind of go over your setup and see how you do it. Wow. Mm. Yeah. I am curious about how you do your setup. Sure, man. I would love to do some like live video broadcasts, like for my podcast, but I haven't figured out really how to do all that. So yeah, no, I'd love to. Yeah, man, I'm excited about this. This is like really the first like media I've done in a long.
What is happening, everybody? This is Fabulous B with Florida Metal Radio. Today, I've got my good friend and good buddy from Vertebreaker on the line. I've got Jack O'Connor. What's happening, man? How you doing? I'm doing pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, dude, we've got some history, and I figured we want to reach out and see what's going on new with you guys.
So a lot of stuff is going on with their lives, and my wife and I had our second child a couple months ago. So it's it was it definitely has been a lot going on outside of the band, but when all that went down, I was trying to think. I'm like, all right, well, I could do something new. I could play with something else, but I decided that maybe, and this is sort of a crazy thing that I never thought I would end up doing, would be to keep, I was to entertain the idea of keeping Vertebreaker going with different guys. And we have we had an unfinished EP which is being mixed right now. Like it's completely done being recorded, but it's just again it's suffered a lot of delays, a lot of setbacks, and I'm hoping within the next few months I might be able to start releasing something. But that's still being mixed right now, and a lot of people still kind of remembered the band, and so I figured, like, okay, well, at least let me give this a shot, see if I can keep this going with different guys, if people are going to accept it. I don't know, but so far it's been really well. I haven't, and I have a pretty good group of guys I've been working with right now, and we're starting to write some new songs, and it's just been kind of a slow rebuilding process. But
Okay.
But yeah, I guess that's a long answer to a short question about what we've been up to.
Right on, right on. So, you said that you're probably going to have some new music or some I guess previously unreleased music that you guys are going to be putting out soon, correct?
Yeah. We started production on a second EP back in as early as December of 2015.
Wow.
We ended up going with. Yeah, I know. It's been a long time coming. The first record we did with Brett Hessla was really great. We managed to record all that. I want to say in about a week's time. Just every night we were in the studio, produced by Brett Hessla in Longwood, and that was great. For the next EP, we kind of wanted to take our time with this next record. Just kind of save a little bit of money and. People don't realize how expensive it is to get a really good quality studio quality recording. There are a lot of people who record stuff in their bedrooms and everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. Technology is pretty good nowadays, but we really wanted to get an authentic studio experience. So we worked with a guy by the name of Mark Brazel at the Zone Productions in Melbourne, which and we decided to take our time making this record, and we had about 6 songs. That we ended up tracking kind of slowly over the last couple months, and so I mean, again, pre-production, I want to say the production probably ended about in late 2018, and it's just been a long process trying to figure out where how we're going to pay for this thing, and B, where we want to get it mixed. And then you had guys leaving the band and guys kind of losing interest and wanting to just kind of move on to the next thing because they were sick of playing these songs live or whatever their reasons were. I'm not gonna speak for any of those guys, but yeah, we have about 6 songs recorded, and I'm still not sure whether I want to just release it single by single, or if we want to make a CD, or maybe combine it with the original EP to make a full length. There are a lot of ways we can go about it, but But yeah, we do have some previously unreleased songs that we've played live a bunch of times. So if you've come to see us before, you'd recognize the songs. But if you haven't, then they're brand new to you. So there you go.
Right, exactly. So I see Chris Marsh just commented. It says, "Hey Jack, looking forward to seeing the new band. I still remember the show in Daytona where we first met. Good to see you're still at it. Rock on."
Awesome. Yeah, Chris is a great guy. He's a great promoter and has been just such a good friend of ours for from almost from the beginning. That show in Daytona he mentioned, we ended up playing this just big this giant club, almost like a theater size, and there weren't a lot of people in it, but there were a few other bands were on that bill, I remember, including 9 Mile Drive, which they were a great band out of Arcadia, Florida, and their lead singer was a really good guy named J.C. Edwards, who unfortunately passed away about 2 years ago almost. And he was just such he was such a great guy. And that's one of the bands I really remember playing with a lot, and they were just fantastic people. So that was a good night, and we've worked with Chris ever since. He's just been such a great friend to ours.
Yeah, he just went ahead and followed up with the comment that said the Coliseum. So
That's right.
So Yeah, Chris is actually kind of helping me out behind the scenes here with Florida Metal Radio, along with Tim Griar from Murderfly. Matter of fact, Tim was here.
Of course, yeah.
Yep, Tim was here helping me out.
Tim's another great friend, and Tim's a great guy.
Oh yeah, real good friends. And we
Hello?
figured. Are you still there?
Oh, sorry, I thought we dropped out for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Hey, it's live, folks. What are you gonna do?
All right. All right. So, Chris also, I was going to mention this also myself, but the Phoenix Report. Did you want to go ahead and I know that you've got your own podcast, and this is kind of like a podcaster to podcaster thing, and yeah. So, you want to go ahead and talk about the Phoenix Report? What's new with that?
I do. I was saying in about 2015 is when. At the time, I was listening to a lot of podcasts, which I still do. I really think it's a cool medium, an art form, and I just thought, like, wow, I've met so many interesting people over the years, like yourself and Chris and all the other people in bands and behind the scenes, that I figure, I'm like, you know what, I've got a few things I want to say, a few people I want to talk to, so I ended up starting my own podcast. It's called The Phoenix Report with Jack Connor. And it is on YouTube right now. I do want to get it on iTunes eventually, but it's just a little costly to get hosting and all that stuff. But eventually, I do want to get it on there because it's a bigger platform. But it's been great. Like I've done over 50 episodes. I know you were a guest of mine at one point,
right?
Before you started doing your show, and I'm glad you're doing your show now. But yeah. I've managed to talk to some really cool people over the years, including other local musicians and other bands that I've been a fan of. Like I've talked to James Hart from the band 18 Visions and Burn Halo. They were a great band out of Orange County, California, and those guys kind of came up with Avenged Sevenfold. And
wow.
They're not really like a big name, but like they had some major label, they had some steam for a little bit there and some radio play, and and the guys from Black Tide, that band isn't together anymore, but that's another like band from Florida that ended up kind of getting some mainstream success for a little bit, and I've had especially Zach from who's now in the band Falling in Reverse. He's been a frequent guest of mine as well, and in addition to interviews, I've also done like panel discussions. Originally, I would cover a lot of pro wrestling events, right. WWE. I don't really do that too much anymore, but I also do like movie reviews and stuff. I'm a big superhero movie fan, a lot of like sci-fi and stuff like that. And so I've done the DC, Marvel movies, Star Wars, etc. So
cool.
There's a lot of different a lot of different content on my show. And I try to do it when I can. I mean, I have it's a little bit tough now. I'm working full time trying to rebuild the band, and I've got
right.
two little ones at home, so it's a little bit difficult. Like I did a review for Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker about a month ago. I still haven't gotten the time to sit down and edit it and put it out. So like that one's in the can. I haven't even put that out yet. So it's. Especially these last couple months, I've been very busy with that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's completely and totally to be understandable. But it's like whenever I left the former podcast that I started with the pro wrestling, mm-hmm. I had to take a long hiatus before I decided I was going to come back. A lot of people don't realize that whenever you do a podcast, it is a little bit more extensive than just flipping on a camera and going to town. I mean, that there's other things.
It really is, and it's also, it's a funny story. When I first started, when I first wanted to do the podcast, I remember telling my wife about it, and she kind of asked me, she's like, Jack, do you think anyone's really going to listen to that? And she wasn't trying to be like negative about it, but I think she was just kind of worried that I was getting my hopes up, and I basically said, I'm like, well, honestly, babe, I don't know if anyone's going to want to listen to what I have to say, but I have some stuff I want to say and some people I want to talk to, and if people listen to it, great. If not, then I'm having fun with it.
Exactly.
And that's kind of been my attitude towards a lot of the things I do in life, including music. You know.
Right on. Yeah, just saw that Tim Griar just joined us. So, Timmy,
Hey,
what's
Timmy.
going on? So, but yeah, man, I do like, you sent me some of the songs, the other day, and I don't know if you heard that, I did like a little radio DJ show, in between, the interviews. So what I did is I went ahead and I took some of the songs that everybody sends me, and I'll go ahead and I'll play a song, and then I'll, do a little introduction for the next song, and, and I'll talk about it a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of how I went with my show. Was, I do the interview and then I'll do the radio side of things. So I do about an hour for the radio side of things. So
it's pretty cool, B, and I want to thank you again for always mentioning Vertebreaker and keeping us in the conversation. I've heard that on the first couple episodes you've done, and I really, really appreciate that. So thank you for that.
Well, dude, like I was saying, and I say to anybody that, once you're like in that circle of friends that I have, that you guys are never really far from out of my thoughts, so I try to, push, my friends first, and, and I've been making lots of friends on here too. So, but yeah, dude, I mean, you're always going to be up there with, with like my friends in Murderfly and stuff like that. And, I just want to make sure that everybody is keeping you guys on the forethought as well. They're like, oh yeah, I remember Vertebreaker, and then you hear
so
something
cool.
new.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many times where I wonder. It's like, man, does anyone really care about us? Did anyone remember us? But I mean, obviously having good friends like yourself and keeping us and mentioning us along with bands like Murderfly and Breathing Theory, and that's some great company to be in.
Oh yeah.
But like anytime I have people coming up to me at shows and be like, hey, you look familiar. Weren't you in Vertebreaker? And just that blows my mind to this day. Where it's like people might not know my name or remember anything else, but like the fact that they remember my band is kind of is just really, really cool. It's such a great feeling, and definitely why I hope we can keep it going. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, and like I said before, I would definitely, see you guys as much as I possibly can. I know that you guys just recently played the Harley Davidson show, right?
We did. That was really exciting, and really our first show back in over a year, and so it felt good to come back to Palm Bay and Brevard County, which is where the band got its start.
Right.
And it was just really exciting to be back there. It was a nice afternoon show. There wasn't a ton of people out there necessarily, but it was like a good sort of warm up for us, just to kind of get our feet wet and kind of get sort of get that first show out of the way. And we did have one guy who unfortunately one of the new guys in the band unfortunately wasn't able to make that show because of a situation with his job, and but thankfully Ryan, one of the original members, he stepped in at the last minute and played the show with us, and his buddies from Lydia Can't Breathe were there, and Kyle was running sound, so all those guys came out to show support, and it was just really great. So shout out to Ryan and all the boys from Lydia Can't Breathe for helping us out.
Yeah, those guys, I saw them for the first time, where was it? I want to say that it was the County Line Saloon. And that was probably a good 5 years ago. So I mean, it was a great show. And then I think the first time that I saw Vertebreaker was at the Boondocks. That show years ago. God, I'm trying to say.
Yeah. The Boondocks was a really cool little venue in in Melbourne, and just we had played a ton of shows there over the years. I don't believe it's there anymore, but we had a lot of good times there, and that was such a good club. And it was I used to live just right down the road from there, so yeah, shout out to Sam, who used to run it and used to book us there all the time. And it's a shame there aren't as many venues like that in Brevard County that I'm aware of. I don't really know. I've been out of it for a while.
Well, I know that the Boondocks, they closed down. They went through a management change, and then pretty much it dissipated altogether. And then I know that the County Line, they closed down, but I saw that they put up a sign for downtown Melbourne.
I heard about that. I think they're getting a new building or a new location or something, like, because the old building was torn down. But But yeah, that's really exciting, and I'm curious to see what happens with that, and hopefully hopefully we can play there at this new location some point in the future. We some of our biggest shows was at the old County Line Saloon, so that was just a really cool venue. It's a really great memory for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was definitely, they had an awesome stage. They had an awesome setup. I mean, it was really nice, but sad to see them go. Happy to hear that they may be coming back. And as far as, the local scene in Brevard County, I think that the only thing that is going on is like the Winfields or Ashley's sports page or whatever that is. So, there's really not a whole lot. There's the Crying Monk down in downtown Cocoa.
Yes, of course. Formerly the 321 local.
Correct, yes. So hopefully there's going to be some shows showing up there as well. And Chris also said that he will be in touch because of Mayfest.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I guess there's
it definitely feels good. I mean, obviously the band has its roots in Brevard County, and even though me and the other guys, the new guys, I should say, we're all located in Orlando now. We still have a history in Brevard County, so we want to come back and play for you guys as much as we can as well. So it's definitely a blessing to have sort of a foothold in two different areas, for lack of a better term.
Right, exactly. I mean, even though that, technically we like to think of ourselves over here on the Space Coast, we like to think of ourselves as part of the Orlando metal scene, but, I noticed that, that we do have our own little Facebook group, Space Coast metal scene, so I'm like, all right, well, that happened, just recently. So
Sure.
But yeah, man, my intent is to pretty much grow this show a little bit more, and possibly at some point, start doing like our friends over at the OA Radio. They put together like Onyx Fest and stuff like that. And I kind of want to do something along the lines as that later on as well. Especially, like I said, having so many friends, or that I'm making along the way, definitely want to be able to give back to the community.
Oh, that's very cool. I mean, I'm not familiar with Onyx Fest, but it sounds like a good time. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I'll probably reach out to you. I mean, even if it's, just in the capacity of, maybe, Jack Connor up there doing a set or something. So who knows?
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good.
Hell yeah, man. So, we got a couple of your songs here. Which one did you want us to play? I mean, we've got, let's see. I think you pretty much sent me the whole entire last EP.
I did, yeah. I sent you from our first record, which to this day I'm still really proud of. And
oh yeah,
I think maybe we could start off with "In the Name." I think that's always a crowd pleaser.
Okay.
That people seem to really respond to that, and it's cool. Like even on just YouTube comments, like people who have no idea who we are saying like, "Wow, this song's really good." So that's probably as good of one to start with as any.
Okay. So, In the Name?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome, man. Well, Jack, since I do have, whenever I go ahead and play this, it's going to cut me off with the audio, but I just wanted to thank you for actually being on the show, man. Much love, brother, and I will definitely be in contact with you probably here in a few minutes after the show's over, and see if we can set something up. Maybe you can actually come into the studio and we can goof around some more, maybe do a live show together here.
Yeah, absolutely, Brad. Whatever you want me to be a part of, please. It's definitely been a pleasure. I appreciate you having me on, and thank you for all your support.
Absolutely, man. All right, brother. Much love, and I will catch you later.
All right, sounds good, man. Thank you.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was Jack with Vertebreaker. I'm going to go ahead and play one of his songs here called In the Name, and we are just going to go ahead and jam this sucker out. Once again, thanks, Jack Connor, for being on the show, and here's that song, guys.
In not immune to fear. Paralyzing, but I must pull through. The 0 hour is near.
Once again, that was our friends at Vertebreaker. I want to thank every single last one of you for joining the show tonight. Yeah, you guys are rocking, and just want to make sure that, to tell everybody that's listened and everybody that's been on the show and everybody that's been a part of this growing process, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is Fabulous B signing off for the night, and I will catch you later. Once again, in the infamous Ricky Rackman, keep one foot in the gutter, one fist in the air. Love you guys. Peace.